Good morning. I'm sure you have been able to implement the last video that I dropped. So I'm going to be doing another video today that will take you through the process of successfully writing a script that will be able to help your clients to successfully log in to your Portal script. Some of you complain that you are not really getting some part of it. So that's why I'm doing a single video that will take you through all the processes. There are 5 different pages, or let me say scripts, that will help you to be able to achieve this process. The first one is a login page. This one is not really a script, it's just a page that will be done in HTML. Then after that, you will have your login scripts. These are the scripts that will enable your user, or let me say your staff, to be able to successfully log in. And there is something I always tell you, anytime you are writing your login scripts, by the time you are getting to the tail end for the execution of your scripts. What I mean by the execution of your script, if you look at this, you will see if variable status equals staff and variable activate equals yes. That is when it will now, sorry, let me scroll so that I'll be fast. Okay, that is when it will now redirect you to your what? To your Portal script. So you notice that at the tail end, I started my what? Section. Can you see section starts? So it is very important before you conclude your login script, you must what? Work on starting your sectioning. Now, after this is done, that is when you are permitted to go to your what? Portal script, which is Portal staff in this case. But before you get to your Portal staff, there is another script that is important. We call it checker script. But in this place, I call it student checker. So I can easily call it staff checker or whatever you like. I know you'll be wondering that why is it so difficult in this level? The reason is because for you to work as a professional, you must do all you can to secure your login scripts so that a client, imagine a bank, maybe you are the one in charge of inputting or logging money in for clients, and someone study or cram or one way or the other is able to get the URL of your what? Of your dashboard. So by the time the clients put the same URL, trying to hack into your portal or your dashboard is able to successfully enter. So that means that it would put any money he likes to his account. So that is why it is important to make sure that you perfect the login section of your scripts. So now you could see that I've actually talked about 4 to 5 scripts. So let me start from the login scripts. Now this is the major script that looks like this. It's not really a script, it's a page that you will need to do in HTML. Can you see? Username, password, can you see? Third eye security. Then after that, you click on what? On the submit button. Exactly. Can you see the sign up? And that's if the person has not registered. Did you see? In case you don't have an account, you sign up. Then it will take you to another page. But in case you register before, the next thing is you click on what? On your submit button. All this one is just the styling. So that's why you have something like this. I think that's clear. Now, after this, I always tell people that write codes, you don't really need to go online to get code. The major thing you need to understand is understand your software architecture. That's why if you should go to my database, there are 2 columns that determines if a user will log in. I call it username and what? And password. So what I'm trying to do here is that by the time the user puts a wrong, let me just say a wrong username, even if it is right one and wrong password, it's going to give what? Error. Let's see. You say account not what? Not available, because there is nothing like that in the database. So let me now put a correct one. Did you see that I'm able to successfully enter my dashboard? This is the dashboard, or this is the portal that we are seeing, and it's mobile responsive. I think that's clear. But before you get to this portal, there are 3 scripts that are in between that we want to really do justice to. The first one is what? The login scripts. So let me go back. Let me log out the login script. So now, this is my login scripts. Don't mind me. I'm using one of the scripts that I have in my portal. So just face the one that are important. It's not all this the lines of code that are important. But what I would do is that after the class, I will drop the scripts for you, and if you are one of our online users, you can easily go to our website and chat us up so that we can send you the script as well. Now, looking at this, you will see that I'm using section starts, so you can actually do this as well. If you like, even if I remove this, that does not mean that my code will not still work. Now, line 7, I'm starting my PHP. Forget about all this date, time, date. The reason is because the work I'm actually doing here has to do with what? Time and dates. That is why I have to tap the current date, the current time. So let's leave that aspect. Is that clear? Now, this is the major aspects. Line 23. You know, I always tell you the first thing you do is what? You connect to your database. So the way I can connect to my database is by using, let me on my pointer so that you can see whatever I'm highlighting better. Let me on my pointer. Okay. Okay. Sorry that I'm taking your time. Just wanted to be able to see whatever I highlight. Okay. Okay. Now, the first thing you need to do is you will connect to the database by using connect_to_MySQL. You can use whatever you like. In case you don't know how to connect to database, please watch our video on how to connect to database. Now, after this, the next thing is my variable email and variable what? Variable pass, because that's the 2 major variables that I declared. The variable email is the one tapping the username, and variable password is the one tapping the what? The password that any users coming. Okay, I've even closed it. That any users input in this place. You understand? So whenever a user comes in, puts his username and password, this is the 2 major variables that will tap it. Variable email, variable what? Variable pass. I know you could see variable last, variable lunch, variable time. You don't need it in this case. I'm actually using it for another thing entirely. Now, after that, the next thing, you could see that I said, the next thing you could see that I said, the next thing you could see that I said, the next thing you could see that I said, the next thing you could see that I said, the next thing you could see that I said, the next thing you could see that I said, the next thing you could see that I said, the next thing you could see that I said, the next thing you could see that I said, the next thing you could see that I said, the next thing you could see that I said, the next thing you could see that I said, the next thing you could see that I said, the next thing you could see that I said, the next thing you could see that I said, the next thing you could see that I said, the next thing you could see that I said, the next thing you could see that I said, the next thing you could see that I said, the next thing you could see that I said, the next thing you could see that I said, the next thing you could see that I said, the next thing you could see that I said, the next thing you could see that I said, the next thing you could see that I said, the next thing you could see that I said, the next thing you could Okay, go to line 14. If variable email or variable pass, who knows the meaning? The meaning is that in case the person did not what? He said if not variable email or not variable pass, that is, if the person did not put anything at the what? At the username and at the password, he should write enter username and password. Is that clear? Now, after that, he said else select all from what? So, you know, it's very possible for someone to put something here and put rubbish. Do you understand? That's how you think as a programmer. Oh, fine. In case the pen did not put anything. What if you now put rubbish? How are you going to know if the details that is being put there is what is in the database? And you know that anytime you want to relate with the database, I always tell you that the next thing is you will use a what? An SQL statement. So that's why I said variable SQL equals select all from staff. That is the name where all the registered staff, the table is what? Staff. Where username, look at me, oh, username is a column, equals variable email that is at the top, Abby. And password equals variable what? Variable pass. So let's see where we saw this email and what? Can you see? Variable email and variable what? Pass. This is where it's coming from. Is that clear? Okay. Now, after that is done, the next thing is that we query. You should know how to query. If you don't know that, please, I will advise you to watch a previous video. Now, if my SQL underscore affected underscore row variable count equals 0, that is, if the person is not in the database, account not found. Now, you should know by default, someone that did not put anything will display that enter your what? Username and password. And someone that is putting something now, we now have a system that can verify. So the next thing is what? To go to the what? To the portal. That's the fact. Any other thing you are seeing here is this one, in case the person is not in the location, but we are not dealing with that now. So now the next thing now is we need, I will really explain this part to you. Now you will notice that I used something here. I said while variable row equals my SQL underscore what? Fetch underscore array. I always tell you, anytime you want to relate with a particular column in the database, because there's a column in the database that I call status. That is the column in which the computer will know that is that person a what? A staff or a student. So that particular column, the reason for line 74, 75, 76 is just because of this single variable what? Status. I just put the other ones in case I will need it. But the major one I need here is what? Variable what? Status. Why? Because I row a column known as what? Status. You know, I always tell you that anytime you see variable row, square bracket, status, that status is the column heading in the database. So now I've now stored it in what? Variable status. Now I can now go, all these ones, leave it. You don't really need that aspect. That's why the code I'm going to drop online will be very few. So don't worry, I'm going to drop a code online. Now, if variable status equals what? Staff. I can even remove this activates. Later as we continue, I'll tell you about that. If variable status equals what? Staff. Section start. You know, I told you this is the sectioning part of the what? Of the scripts. Before you conclude, I know someone might be watching online, you're feeling, this one is too broad. No, the reason is because you want to secure your login. If I want to do a simple one, I will not even worry myself about section. I will not worry myself about what? Checker. But that kind of portal is in danger. If you go commercial, they will hack you. They will steal whatever they want to steal from you. So that's why it is important you pay the price. Now, the section start. I told you that sectioning will always start at the what? At the left. And the essence of sectioning is that any variable that you will still need in another what? In another page, store it in computer memory, because by default every variable will terminate in that particular what page. But because I still need variable email in the next page, which is the what, the portal, right? I will also even still need this variable email in the what, in the checker script. So that is why I started sectioning. Hello? Yeah. So that's why I started sectioning. Now, looking at the sectioning aspect, as you can see, all the section from variable underscore section, which is a super global variable, is at the left. So then in front of it is what? The email and the password that I want to pass to the next page. So that's why you will see that variable email, Abi, that has been declared upward, and variable what? Password that has been declared what? Upward. I'm passing it to the section, which is at the left. And I'm storing my section with what? The email, I saw it in username, and the pass, I saw it in what? In password. It is inside the square bracket of the what? Of the sectioning. What this simply means is that every pages after this login script will always have sectioning at the what? At the right. And by the time it has its own sectioning, what did I mean by sectioning at the right? You could see here that the sectioning is at the what? Is at the left. But in other page, you will see that it will be switched to the what? To the right. And by the time it's switched to the right, you will see that the same name will also be repeated in the what? In the right. If I use PP here, in the other pages that is at the right, the sectioning square bracket, what must be inside must be what? PP. Is that clear? So please take note what we use for the first one and the second one. For the first one, we use what? Username. And the second section, we use what? Password. So leave the other ones. Then after that, you can now redirect with header function. What does header function do? Header function helps your page to what? Fine, you've successfully registered, but you want it to be redirected to what? By default. That's why by the time it's loaded, it will load to another page entirely, which is what? Your portal. So now I think I'm through with what? With the login script. I'm through with the what? The sectioning part of the login script. Now let's go to the portal script, because our script is redirected to what? To portal script. So now getting to the portal script, the first thing you will see is your what? Your checker script. What did I call it? Your checker script. So that means that you need to quickly go and work on your what? On your checker script. What is checker script? If I remove this checker script, that does not mean that my what? My script will work, but that's my script is not yet complete. So let's quickly go to the checker scripts. Now, at the checker scripts, I will tell you that checker script is very close to sectioning. The only difference is that I just want to compound it. How? The major aspect is section what? Starts. Is that clear? You can even leave this global. Then after that, the next part is what? You can, if you like, you can even still leave this variable user equals what? Empty, because at the end of the day, I did not use it. Instead of saying variable user equals empty, you can say variable user underscore ID equals what? Empty, because that's the major one that I used, Abby. Now, the next thing, if is set. Do you know the meaning of this line of code? The meaning is that you will notice that this sectioning has been used in the what? In the portal script by the time we are rounding up. So computer is telling you that if you actually kept your username at the left in the portal script, what should happen? He said pass it to the what? To the right. Can you see that here my sectioning is at the what? At the right of my equal operator. I'm sure every one of you understand what I mean by equal operator. This equal sign. So can you see that my sectioning is now at the what? At the right of the equal sign, unlike the previous script where my sectioning was where? Was at the left. Let me scroll there so that I will show you what I'm saying. I think I'm at the Potter. Okay. Let's quickly scroll there so that you see what I'm saying. Okay. Oh, sorry. So we're supposed to go to the login script, right? Aha. Now, my login script, can you see that is what? Everything is at the left of the equal sign. Please let this enter into you very well. Sectioning will always be at the left of the equal sign at the what? At the login script. But by the time we got to the checker script, is at the what? At the right of the equal sign. And I assign it to what? Variable user underscore id. And I say else. The meaning is that in case anybody is contradicting this, the person should be thrown to what? To index, to the home page. That is someone that wants to pass through the what? The back door. And I said, and I'll go further. Oh, fine. Let's try and fortify our section. That's the essence of checker. And I said, and I include connect to my SQL. Can you see? And this variable user ID, if you remember, is coming from what? From the top. And I use MySQL real underscore escape underscore string and pass it back to what? Variable user ID again. After that, MySQL underscore query variable count. You should know this. This variable is coming from your MySQL connect. Abi, select all from staff where username equals variable what? User ID, right? This thing is very simple. User ID is still the same thing as your what? Your email in the what? In the login script. The only thing is that I've passed it to the what? To the right here, and I've stored it in variable user underscore ID. After that, if variable can't equals zero, that is, if the person is not still seen in the database, you are not allowed to access this page. Can you see that? Checker script is more or less like what? A fortified and extended section in script. So now let's now go to the final script, which is the portal scripts. In the portal script, if our portal script, as far as I'm concerned, is the simplest, and I'll prove it to you that is the simplest. Why? I'm just going to talk on the most important thing. As I've said, you start your student underscore what? Checker.php. After that, you connect to what? MySQL. After you've connected to MySQL, the next thing, can you see? Your sectioning is at the what? At the right. And you put it inside variable what? Username. And if you notice, in the square bracket of the super global variable or variable underscore section, username is what? Is there. So if you go back to your login script, you will see that it is still what? Username. I don't know, maybe you are getting me. If I use Paul here, I must also use what? Paul inside this place. If I use Kemi here, I must also use what? Kemi at the what? At the login script. I hope this is very clear. Now, after that, let's continue with our coding. Now, this is to tell you now that computer is now familiar with variable username. That is, the same person that log in is still the same person that is in the what? In the portal. Now, the next thing. Why? Most of the portal, by the time you log in, the next thing that computer wants to do is that computer will like to tell you about yourself. Oh, welcome, Johnson Paul. Welcome, Kanye Adetiloye. And you know that before computer will be able to tell you who you are, it will need to what? Connect to the database and pick every of your details. That's the same thing that happens in Facebook. By the time you connect, you'll be able to see a lot of things about yourself, your friends, and the likes. So that is the reason why it is being displayed again. Select all from what? From staff. Hello. Okay, let me, I pray the internet will be okay. Let me just quickly go and show you the staff. Let's quickly show you the staff. I'm in a server. Here's my PHP my admin. Okay, I'm getting to PHP my admin. Don't forget it is staff, right? Okay. Okay. Enter here. What do I call it? Staff. Can you see the staff? Because it is inside the staff that I will see all the details. Can you see the ID, the username, the password, the first? Let me scroll. Can you see the status that I was saying the other time? Can you see staff? This is the status. Aha. Now, by the time, the major thing I need now is that I want to talk about, I want to tell you your username, I want to tell you your password, I want to tell you your first, and everything about you. So the major thing I will need now is the what? The column heading. The column heading. Where is my my Potter script? So that's the reason why I'm selecting all from what staff. Where you, because normally if I say select all from staff, that means it will select every word, every rows. Because each row is for what? Each staff. But I want to select the row of the particular word, email that what? That login. So that's why I'm saying where username, that is, this username is a column heading in the what? In the database. Can you see the column heading username in the what? In the database. Then after that, equals variable what? Where is this username coming from? This place. Hello? Is coming from this place. So after that, while variable row equals MySQL underscore fetch underscore array, anytime you see this word, it means that I want to fetch every column and assign it into a what? A variable. Let's see. I'm fetching for ID, I assign it into variable code. I fetch for what? Gender, I assign it variable sex. I search for sectioning, I assign it variable section. For middle name, for first name, for last name, for email, for gender, for DOB, for state, and for what? Even for the image that I kept in the database. Then after that, if you are good in table, if you really understand your HTML, every part I'm going is that I want to start putting it in different aspect of my what? Of my HTML code. That is the reason why you can see this. Let me show you. Let me log in so that I'll show you what I'm saying. All these things you are seeing is basically HTML. You can go to edit profile, settings, overview, solar accumulable solar. You understand? All these things are normal HTML. That's why I'm showing you these down parts of my what? Of my code. Let me just show you one of it. Can you see? It's saying variable first, variable last, staff. Let me show you where the staff is. Can you see the staff? Aha. Let me show you where the full name is as well. The full name. I'm rounding up the class. Okay, can you see address? Right? Let's go up. Can you see state? Can you see the full name? Can you see the full name? And after the full name, I echo my variable what? Last, variable middle, and variable what? Variable last. This is what is showing this. You understand? And all this, this full name. And all this came directly from where I fetched all the what? All the columns in the database. So I believe with this video, you'll be able to successfully walk around your login system. See you in the next class. If you are interested, or if one way or the other will be imparted in this video, please shout us up so that we can get a feedback from you. Thank you.